So today we're covering why that number has changed so drastically in the last couple of years, and is not necessarily the first thought, which is inflation, and is something completely different. We're covering all those details today. So let's talk about that. Hey everybody! If you don't know who I am, my name is Phillip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent located right here in Northwest Arkansas. If you weren't aware, I'm actually a real estate broker located from the dumpster fire, horrible, no good, terrible state, also known as Chicago, aka Illinois. The worst. Anyways, I could have moved anywhere I wanted to in America. I went to Asheville, I went to Boise, I went to Golden and Boulder, I went to Phoenix, I went to all different places that are popping, Chattanooga, those areas, all the areas that are kind of popular that people are moving to. But Northwest Arkansas is by far the best place to live in America. If you ever want to talk about why I chose Northwest Arkansas, over coffee, over phone, whatever the case is, call me, let me know. We can set up a time to talk about why I chose Northwest Arkansas versus anywhere else in America. Without further ado, let's jump right into the content. All right, and the first thing we need to cover when it comes to how Northwest Arkansas got so many luxury homes, and this is kind of a twofold intro part, is the first part is that back in 2019, like I mentioned before, there's only 36 homes sold over $1 million, and most of them were in Beaver Lake, which is over on the obviously the east side of Northwest Arkansas. And the reason it's expensive is because there's kind of coveted slips for like boats, and so they usually pushes homes over the edge, even though the homes are kind of like but oftentimes their homes are pretty nice, and also on top of that they have a slip actually on Beaver Lake, so that's what usually pushes over the edge back in the day over there. But now in 2023, last year, and it's going to change even more this year, 253 homes sold for over $1 million in Northwest Arkansas. So we went from 36 to 253, a 600% increase in less than 5 years. Crazy. So that's the first part. So the data's out there. So what do we do with this? Like, why is this happening? And the first thing that people obviously think is inflation. And there is definitely some aspects to that, to the fact that obviously prices have increased a lot, not only in Northwest Arkansas, but in America in general. So there's that factor. I'm not going to, obviously that's the truth. The second part of it is what it's not. And a lot of times people will assume that we are equivalent to like Boise and Phoenix and Texas and Colorado and Golden and Boulder and Jackson, Wyoming, all the different places that people are, and Las Vegas, that the assumption is that people from California are, taking their multi-million-dollar homes, selling it, and then buying homes here. There is that aspect, that is for sure. But realistically, a lot of the home sales that exist here are just people that have been from California, from Texas, from Utah, from Wyoming, from Colorado, and they've had a huge increase of pricing in their homes the last couple of years, and say, you know what, this place that I moved to or came from, or like moving from, overran with things I don't really care for anymore, and they're moving to Northwest Arkansas. So, but oftentimes with the people that I work with and the homes that I've sold a lot of homes, oftentimes they fall into the $350,000 to $500,000 category, which is obviously a very nice home in this area. And they've oftentimes had a huge down payment from their last home. So a lot of those home sales are that here in Northwest Arkansas. So that's kind of what it's not. It's not, all those different style of areas moving here with their multi-million-dollar things and becoming like, owning a block or owning this massive home. Doesn't often work that way here. And the second reason why there have been so many multi-million-dollar homes being sold in Northwest Arkansas, and this is probably the crux of it all, it's not inflation necessarily, it's not obviously California moving here and spending a lot of money. It truly is becoming that Northwest Arkansas is becoming, and it already is, an economic engine of the Midwest. Now, obviously, from an economic, I watch real estate because first of all, I love it. I'm a nerd on it. And secondly, I like watching economics. And it's interesting to see how so many people are leaving the coastal lines, both eastern and western, and moving to the heartland. And you could factor it in, hurricanes or cost of living or whatever the case you want to put on it. Regardless, there's a huge amount of people moving from the East Coast, moving to the inner, and usually Heartland is the big area. And obviously Texas is not really part of the Heartland, but obviously they get a huge influx of people. Florida gets a lot of people from New York down there, but Northwest Arkansas and adjacent areas get a lot of people with, I would say, higher capital, higher jobs, remote jobs, whatever the case is, and they move here to Northwest Arkansas. So Northwest Arkansas isn't necessarily just the homeland for Walmart or Tyson or JB Hunt. The nice thing with Northwest Arkansas is that it's really kind of solidified itself as just being a great place to live. We know this. Great trail systems, great outdoor spaces, great affordable housing, both in the, all the way down to 200s, all the way up to well beyond that. And so people have this interesting allure to Northwest Arkansas because they see all these great amenities and they're like, why don't we just move there? The hurdle that and also I would consider bottleneck that Northwest Arkansas will always have for the long-standing future is once you attach Northwest and the word Arkansas to it, it becomes Arkansas. Why would you move there? So that is usually its biggest bottleneck and kind of a growth inhibitor and also control at the same time, because if we took Northwest Arkansas and put it in Northwest Texas or whatever the case was, overran in a day, that is for sure. So one of the things, again, going to why there's so many multi-million-dollar homes is because people have taken their money from the outskirts and bringing it in inskirts. And part of it is just not only the fact of buying these homes, but the building, the infrastructure, the economic engine draws so many people here from not only from California, from the East Coast, from Texas, from Chicago, from Minnesota, from Utah, whatever the case is, and they're all coming here, and there's a certain expectation, and they're bringing their money with them, not only for living, but for business as well. So it's created this interesting economic engine because of all the different amenities that have been put here. And the third reason why there's so many multi-million-dollar homes now in Northwest Arkansas in comparison to before. Now, this is a little bit of a chicken and egg question. What came first? A lot of the smaller homes now, and I say smaller between 14 to 1,200 to 2,000 square feet or bigger, in some fashion, like 2,500, have been integrated with a lot of luxury features inside of it. Now, I don't know what came first, luxury homes being built and then they bled down to smaller homes, or smaller homes adopting, builders that are like, oh, this is really cool that they're doing over in Texas and this and that. And they're adopting these kind of features and putting it into smaller homes, and then they're coming into luxury homes. I don't know what came first, but the moral of the story is that oftentimes when you buy a home in the smaller category square footage wise, they do come with a lot of luxury style living. And what I mean by that is like the interesting features of like walk-in pantries, or, obviously heated floors, or like huge, massive full glass showers, or obviously tile everywhere, or obviously hardwood or bamboo. Whatever the case is, a lot of these smaller homes are integrating with luxury style things. And so a lot of times, especially in Bella Vista, you'll find some of these homes that have, I would consider, luxury styles, but at not a luxury price. So very interesting that builders are making, I would consider, marketing choices to get people to buy their homes based on these things. The cost, obviously they absorb the cost, and sometimes the cost does go up in these homes. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are moving here, seeing these luxury style features and like, this is awesome. I can afford this house in this place for like a sixth of the cost of anywhere else. So it gets a very interesting play on marketing and also selling homes in the area when a lot of these smaller homes have these luxury features. And so it's really interesting to see that kind of transition, or I would say like overlapping of Venn diagrams, so to speak, the circles, happen in Northwest Arkansas. Whoa. Before we jump on to the next point, I made something for you. I made something called 3-day itineraries. So maybe you're looking to come down here, maybe you're looking to move down here, maybe you're looking to visit here. I have itineraries day by day, city by city, thing by thing, about basically how to actually do all the fun things in Northwest Arkansas. Maybe you're an adventurer, maybe you're a sports person, maybe you're a foodie, maybe you're a sightseer, maybe you have kids, whatever it is, I have 3-day itineraries linked down below for you. So go ahead and download them and use them when you get down here. Maybe you are looking to move down here or rent down here and use the things like Realtor.com, Zillow.com, or Redfin. Way too slow. Notifications, way too slow. That's why I made something called Instant Home Updates. Sounds exactly what it is, literally Instant Home Updates. So enter your information below: name, bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. Where do you want to move to Northwest Arkansas? Enter all the information below and make sure to miss a single notification when it comes for homes for sale or for rent, all in Northwest Arkansas. Also, every single Friday I send an email out just kind of talking about all the cool things happening in Northwest Arkansas. So maybe you want to know what's all the things happening here. We want to know what's going on in downtown Bentonville, in downtown Fayetteville, when is First Fridays, when is First Thursdays, what's going over in Siloam, what new business are moving here, what's going on in the amphitheater, when are all the things happening, all the cool things going on in Northwest Arkansas. If you want to know about all those different things, enter your name below, enter your email below. I send an email out every single Friday, but I just want to give you a heads up, little forewarning, you will get a little fear of missing out, a little FOMO, so to speak. But I promise you will be the most important person eventually when you make your way down to Northwest Arkansas. And the fourth thing we need to talk about when it comes to so many multi-million-dollar homes being established in Northwest Arkansas, comparison to before, the one thing I want to mention here, and this is the last thing, is what is the future? What is the future of all this? Are smaller homes going to continue on the luxury path? Are more multi-million-dollar homes going to be built? So let me kind of give my 2 cents and kind of probably with the not so much data, because a lot of this is inferred based on city planning as well as just city meetings and kind of permitting process, the whole thing. There will probably be, the way that it's looking from city planning and zoning and what's coming down the pipeline, there will probably be less $1 million homes being built and the homes that are already $1 million will be established, will be raised in price. There's going to be more $500,000 to $600,000 homes being built in the area when it comes to Bentonville and Centerton, that is for sure. And less $1 million homes being built. And I think we're going to see a dip in $1 million home, or the flat line across the board, because there's just not going to be as many built, and the ones that have been established will just kind of pass back and forth over a couple of years. Not because they're not going to be worthwhile, it's just that the demand isn't quite there as much as it used to be. Once we kind of get established with Walmart, executives that are being moving here, once it gets established, they buy their homes, they get us, whatever the case is, those aren't going to be moving as fast back and forth, because the stickiness of Walmart has increased a lot in the last couple of years because of their headquarters. Walmart and JB Hunt Tyson and the whole area has been known as kind of a pass-through area the last decade or more. And so executives would move here, they'd buy their house, obviously, and they wouldn't stay here for more than 2 to 3, 4 years tops, and then they're out the door. That is going to change drastically. So you're not going to see as much flipping of $1 million homes in the next couple of years. Retrospectively, I think that a lot of the I would consider luxury small builders will step aside and probably go more affordable housing with kind of a little bit of a twist, less than luxury. So you're going to see, the long short of it is that the way that the landscape is going to play out in the next probably couple of years in Northwest Arkansas, and this is not specific to any area, but the area in general, is that less multi-million-dollar homes are going to be built. That is probably going to happen. Probably not. That is not going to happen. Is going to happen. They're not going to be as built as many. More 450 to 650 homes are being built. More multi-family townhouse condos are going to be built in general. We're talking like kind of like the style of living. The reason being is because the cities are huge proponents of it. And so that's just going to happen regardless. And they're going to incentivize builders to keep doing that versus building multi-million-dollar homes, or even 450 to 650 homes. That's going to go to the wayside a little bit as much, more so than it has in the past. And then so it's really going to be a hard focus on that kind of townhouse kind of style condominium living. The reason that it doesn't happen as much is because the building codes, as well as the cost, doesn't always incentivize builders to sell off townhouses and condos. And so they need to be incentivized in that direction versus renting them. So that is coming down the pipeline. That's going to be my future sense, is that these multi-million-dollar homes are going to stay there. They're not going to build as many of them because it's just not going to be, or they're going to be farther out, like way farther out. And so you can't do as many out there. So that's kind of my 2 cents in here. And so I hope that kind of gets a little bit of a light on the future multi-million-dollar housing in Northwest Arkansas. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Again, if you haven't been down to Northwest Arkansas quite yet, I made something called the NWA Starter Pack. Sounds exactly what it is, literally a starter pack full of all the cool things in Northwest Arkansas. It comes with over 120-page guide, city by city, population, healthcare, schools, all the information you want to know about Northwest Arkansas, literally shipped right to your home. It comes with stickers. It comes with this brand new, hold on, NWA coloring book. Yay! It's actually quite fun, I do admit. You'll love it. Anyways, it comes with all sorts of cool things pertaining to Northwest Arkansas. It comes with my itinerary guides. It comes with so many different things. So enter your name below, enter your address below. Where am I shipping this package to? Enter all the information below and make sure they get the package shipped to you right away. Also, it does come with your first free mountain bike, so that's pretty cool. And I know what you're thinking. It is my favorite 4-letter F word. Free! So enter your information below. Make sure they get the package shipped to you right away. Also, when you do come down here, I can give you a $10 tour so I can kind of show around the whole area. Plus, we can check out some home for sale or for rent and see how far your dollar will go in Northwest Arkansas compared to where you're coming from. All right, guys. I'll see you next one.